Hello and welcome back to Wembley Stadium, where Arsenal won the 2017 FA Cup final, beating the new champions of England, Chelsea, by 2-1. Aaron Ramsey sealing victory with a clean header of a Giroud cutback. With me is Satish Sekar again from Empower's magazine, long-standing journalist here in Britain. What an absorbing final it was.
Indeed, it was very well played and surprising. Arsenal completely outthought and outfought Chelsea and surprised a lot of people and made most of us journalists eat our words, including me.
Indeed, eat your words. You have attended more than 5 FA Cup finals. Where does this one rank? Because it was box to box for 90 minutes. The match was played with great intensity and ferocity. It was really enjoyable to watch.
It was. I think it was one of the better cup finals because it's not often you see Arsenal as underdogs, but this time they were the clear underdogs, despite Conte saying Arsenal were the favourites. I don't think too many people accept that assessment. And they were completely and utterly outthought. Chelsea really didn't perform. They weren't allowed to perform as well, but it wasn't in a dirty sort of way. Arsenal simply outfought them and won clean and fair and square.
Clean, fair and square, you say, but that first opening goal from Alexis Sanchez was controversial.
Yes, I think Conte has a point in that it was a handball, but you can't ask for much more than the referee going and checking. I think next year, or as soon as they bring in VAR, these incidents will be resolvable and resolvable very, very quickly, and a decision will be reached that everyone can actually live with. I think part of the problem here is there was interpretation as to whether Sanchez's handball was deliberate or not. I personally think it was, because I think his hands are up too high, but also I think the rule on offside is absolute lunacy. Aaron Ramsey was standing in an offside position, but because he doesn't touch the ball, he's not given as offside. But he's clearly there to distract Thibaut Courtois, who has to think about him, who has to be concerned as to what Ramsey's going to do, and whether he will touch the ball or not, and that, I think, is interfering with play. So if you are in an offside position, you make no attempt to get out of the way of it properly, I think you should be given offside. And I think the rule should be changed to make sure that happens, because I think it's unfair.
Unfair indeed. So from what I hear and from what I can grasp, is that you would like to include VAR in these big games?
Absolutely. I don't think there is any reason or justification to not use technology. It's not like it isn't there. Before, when you didn't have it, obviously you couldn't use it, but now you do have it. There really is no reason to allow the wrong decisions to be made, unless what people really want isn't the actual correct decisions made, but the correct decisions for us and our team.
Indeed, but that goal from Alexis Sanchez changed the game a lot. In the end, Arsenal should have been 3 or 4 up at the end of half-time?
I don't know that I'd say they should have been 3 or 4 up. They certainly should have converted another one of their chances, and it would have been a more comfortable game for them if they had. But I think the right team won in the end, and I do think also Ospina deserves some credit when at 2-1 to Arsenal. He makes a very, very good save to deny Costa the second equaliser. That, I think, was a very important point as well, which is missed a bit.
But why were Chelsea so bleak? N'Golo Kante, who's been so good this season, was nowhere to be seen. Eden Hazard was very peripheral. You can say that Diego Costa was the only one battling yet again.
I think it was more a case of not just Chelsea were below par, but Arsenal raised their game. And they came with a game that Chelsea wasn't expecting. They came and they played a very, very good game. So I think you actually have to give Arsenal credit as well as say Chelsea weren't at their best.
Victor Moses, a deserved sending off, second booking. that looked like a Schwalbe in the plenitude of the world.
It was quite definitely a dive, an absolutely stupid thing to do when you're already on a yellow card. What did he think the referee was going to do after that?
Indeed, a fair call from the referee.
Absolutely.
Who would you say was the man of the match?
I think it's hard to say. I wouldn't really disagree with Sanchez, but as you say, Mertesacker put in a magnificent performance, and I probably would.
He hadn't played for 392 days, so he did defy conventional wisdom.
That's what I was coming to. That was partly why I would have said, on balance, because he hadn't played for such a long time, and because he was marshalling Arsenal's defence in the absence of Koscielny, I would have given him the man of the match this time.
Perhaps Aaron Ramsey also candidate, not only for scoring the winning goal, but also for giving Arsenal balance and pushing high up the field, which meant that Matic and Kante were outnumbered in the midfield.
Yes, I mean, Arsenal, you could almost say that maybe there should be a team of the match award.
Oh well, that's fair enough. So Arsene Wenger wins his 7th FA Cup. Arsenal win a record 13th cup. Jubilous scenes after the final whistle. The Arsenal end was aesthetic. But what does it mean for the future of Arsenal and for the future of Arsene Wenger? Now the argument can go two ways. Those who want Wenger out can say this is the ideal moment for him to leave the club.
They can say that, but the decision has got to be made by Arsenal's board and to a large degree by Arsene Wenger himself. I don't think he has any real intention of leaving. If he's asked to stay, he will stay.
Indeed, but will he be asked to stay? At the press conference after the game, which we both attended, he was very tight-lipped about the situation.
He was, but he seemed to hint that he was going to stay, and that I think it is likely he will get a contract offer and extension offer, and he will accept it.
Yes, Mr. Vishnu right now says that he thinks Arsene Wenger is going to stay for the next season. Just going to Chelsea for a moment. This loss was perhaps just a blip, end of season blip?
Yes, I mean, Chelsea haven't played this badly since they lost to Arsenal earlier in the season, and possibly Liverpool as well. I mean, you have a bad game, it happens. I don't think you can judge Chelsea's season by this one match.
All right, Satish, anything else you want to add before we go?
Yes, I think that while we give absolutely deserved credit to Arsene Wenger for moving into sole possession of the record of 7 wins, FA Cup wins, which is almost certainly never going to be matched, let alone beaten, we should also remember the man who shared the record with him and whom for almost a century was out on his own, George Ramsey of Aston Villa.
Satish from Empower Sports, we kindly thank him for his match preview and post-match analysis. This is it from us here, First Post at Wembley Stadium. We will be back next week from Cardiff with the Champions League final. For now, it's goodbye and good night. Thank you.